Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. If you've been working with Claude Code inside a strict enterprise environment, you've probably felt this kind of frustrating limitation. It's like you knew there was this incredible feature just out of reach that let Claude independently execute, test, and iterate on code without you holding its hand the whole time. Well, today, we're looking at exactly how a highly anticipated update is finally fixing that massive pain point. We're diving right in to Claude Code version 2.1158.
But first, to really get why this update is such a game changer, we kind of have to ask ourselves, what exactly were enterprise Claude users actually missing out on? Look, if you're an individual dev running things locally, you've had access to all the shiny new tools. But for the teams operating at scale, the ones locked into big enterprise-grade cloud hosting, yeah, they were stuck looking over the fence at one specific, absolute powerhouse of a feature, and that feature was auto mode.
So let's look at the before and after here. Before version 2.1158, if you were routing Claude Code through one of the big enterprise cloud providers, auto mode, totally unavailable. It was literally a closed door. But after this update, that door is wide open. Auto mode is unlocked, it's fully supported in those environments, and it is a massive shift in feature parity for enterprise teams. Okay, let's get right into it with section 1, version 2.1158, platforms and models. Because in the enterprise world, details are everything, right? So here are the three heavy hitters, the actual heroes of this update: Amazon Bedrock, Google Vertex AI, and Azure AI Foundry. If your team relies on any of those three cloud ecosystems for hosting, well, you're the direct beneficiary here. This update was built specifically for folks running Claude Code in these exact environments. Now, really crucial point here. This is not just a blanket update for every single model on those platforms. No, it specifically applies to the Opus models 4.7 and 4.8. So if you're on Bedrock, Vertex, or Foundry, and you're running either Opus 4.7 or 4.8, congratulations, you've got auto mode. But just keep in mind, if you're on a different platform or an older model, this specific update won't change your workflow just yet. All right, moving right along to section 2, the blueprint for activating auto mode. So you're probably wondering, does this just magically work the second I update? Do I need to rewrite some massive headache-inducing configuration file? Actually, no. You do have to actively opt in. It doesn't just turn on by itself, but it takes literally zero heavy lifting. Step 1, you set a single environment variable. Step 2, you launch your Claude Code session. Boom, that's the whole shebang. No complex setups, just a totally frictionless flip of a switch for the developer. Now for section 3, remaining mysteries. Because let's be real, no software release is ever completely without its secrets. Let's pivot for a second from the hard facts to the missing details. What don't we know yet? When you're managing enterprise tech stacks, knowing the limitations of your documentation is honestly just as important as knowing the features themselves. And if we look really closely at the changelog for this update, well, there are a few glaring omissions we need to talk about. Let's map this out. On one side, we have our confirmed facts. We know the version number. We know it's a super simple environment variable opt-in, and we know exactly which platforms and models get the goods. But over on the other side, some pretty big unknowns. For starters, we don't have a calendar release date. The changelog literally only gives us the version number. We also don't get any deep technical breakdowns on the internal mechanics of how auto mode is executing under the hood here. And maybe most importantly for future planning, there is zero indication if or when the support is going to expand to other models or platforms. So let's cut right to the chase and distill this down to the absolute core takeaway for you today. Here is the short version. If you are a cloud-hosted Claude Code user on Amazon Bedrock, Google Vertex AI, or Azure AI Foundry, and you're running Opus 4.7 or 4.8, just flip the environment variable. That's it. You're in. Auto mode is officially unlocked and ready to roll for your enterprise environment. If you want to dig into the weeds on the documentation, the source notes point us right here. For the full Claude Code manual and plain English breakdowns of every update like this one, visit claudemaster.net. It's a genuinely great resource for keeping up with these lightning-fast dev updates. But before we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with something to think about while you're updating your environments today. Now that auto mode has finally breached the enterprise walls of Bedrock, Vertex, and Foundry, where do you think Claude Code's auto mode is going to expand to next? Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope this makes your workflow a whole lot smoother. And as always, happy coding.